Well, good morning. I wanted to do a quick video update this morning talking about the possibility of winter weather in the upcoming week. A lot of you have seen a lot of posts on social media talking about this, and I'm seeing a lot of questions in my inbox, and folks are texting me. So yes, there does look like there is a possibility of some wintry weather coming in the Wednesday and Thursday time frame, but it's not 100% for certain exactly what we're going to get and where it's going to fall. Up across northern Arkansas, I think the chances for wintry weather is pretty good. As you get further down into central Arkansas, it's a little more questionable, and we may indeed end up getting something, but right now I think the jury is still out as to whether we're going to get anything of significance or not. So the first thing I want to look at here is our Gfs model, and that's an American model, and this here is forecast output for the middle of the coming week for sleet accumulation. Now, I purposely did not put amounts on here because at this range, the models are going to be all over the place with how much they're forecasting and where they're forecasting it at. And the reason I'm going to show a little bit of a peek behind the scenes here as to what the models are doing. Normally at this range, we see an awful lot of variability in the models. That's fairly normal. What's kind of impressing me right now is I am seeing a lot of the models starting to have a consensus that there's going to be a winter weather event of significance at the very least across the northern and northwest part of the state. And it doesn't really look like snow at the moment. It looks to be more like the last event where we had a lot of sleet and a fair amount of icing. And this is the sleet output from the Gfs model, and I'm going to go over here real quick and take a look. This is how much freezing rain it's forecasting. Now you can see it's keeping a band there that's kind of extending from like Mena, Arkansas up towards Jonesboro. You know, at this point, you don't really want to focus too much on the actual amounts in the exact areas. The important thing is that the models are consistently showing that there's going to be some type of wintry event. And the trick is going to be determined as it gets closer as to exactly where it's going to happen and how much is going to fall out of this. Now, you know, if you're looking at this map, you can picture Little Rock's right about in the middle. It looks like, well, Little Rock's just kind of on the edge of this. Yeah, don't read too much into that just yet. You know, understand that there's a potential here that there could be something wintry happening in the Little Rock area. And there's also the potential it may be well to the north at this point. So the important thing is to just kind of prepare for the possibility that something may be happening in the middle of next week. Now, as we go over here, we look at our European model. Now, the European model has sleet forecast here, and it's quite a bit farther to the north. And the European model usually is one of our more reliable models, but of course, in the last event, it was fooled quite a bit, and the Gfs actually did better in terms of forecasting where the sleet and the snow was going to be. And then if we go over and take a look, the European model is forecasting some pretty significant freezing rain, but again, it's more up to the northern portions of the state. And I will point out, in the last event, the Gfs did much better than the European model, which caught me by surprise a little bit. The Gfs was forecasting the colder air to come down farther to the south and to come in deeper, and the European was keeping it farther to the north. If some of you remember, at this range on the last event, the European model was forecasting, you know, quite a bit of ice and snow and sleet mix, you know, up around the mountain home area. And this is kind of more up to that northern areas there. So again, at this range, you don't really want to focus too much on the actual amounts or the locations. Just understand that the models are showing some consistency as to, you know, cranking out some type of a winter weather event. And then this is the Canadian model, and this is forecasting the amount of sleet. Again, the Canadian model is really going crazy with the sleet band here across portions of northern Arkansas. And then if we go over and look at what the Canadian model is doing with ice, ooh, that's not good. It's showing considerable icing, not only in northwest Arkansas, but also a band extending across a good portion of the state. So putting it all together at this range, you know, the one thing that I'm trying to tell everybody is don't don't be alarmed by some of the posts you see people making on social media. They're making this look like this is going to be the end of the world. Oh my gosh, look at this model. It's putting out this much ice or this much sleet or this much snow. But right now is the time to kind of begin preparing for the possibility that we might have something in the Wednesday, Thursday time frame. If that does happen, what usually happens? Our roads and transportation networks are shut down for a couple of days. We usually have a run in the grocery stores. And of course, if we're talking about ice, we're talking about the potential loss of the power grid. Fortunately, that didn't happen across too much of an area last time, and I feel pretty fortunate for that. We'd actually forecast a little bit more freezing rain accumulation, especially across the central part of Arkansas. That's one time I'm glad we were actually wrong. It didn't develop quite as much as we thought. The cold air came in deeper, and it was more sleet than freezing rain. So again, at this range, don't focus on the amounts or the areas. Just understand that we do have a potential for some wintry weather in the Wednesday, Thursday time frame, and right now is kind of the time to start thinking about it and making some alternate plans if necessary.